Hey everybody, it's Grace here. It is Thursday at 12 noon Central Time. Here in North Dakota, it's 12 noon. um, and today is the ATC Mystery Box mini event, and I'll tell you what that means here in a second. This is going to be broadcast on my YouTube channel, on my Facebook channel, and in Shell Bell's Creative Sanctuary, a group where we've been focusing some of our energies for artist trading cards. So, what is an artist trading card? Artist trading card is like a mini project, 2.5 by 3.5 inches. They're this big, just like a playing card, like a deck of cards, same size. I buy them blank and I sell them in my shop blank, but you of course can use actual playing cards to create with. And they're called artist trading cards. So you create on them, you design them, you can paint, you can collage, you can stencil, you can use foils, you can do whatever you want on them and then collect them and trade them or swap them with other people who are fans of artist trading cards. So it's a great little, not only fun creative thing to do, but also a great way to get to know other creative, like-minded people. And we happen to have a subscription box specifically for artist trading cards. And this event is basically reminding everybody that the doors are now open if you want to join that. So today, the mini event is 3 creatives. So myself, I'm the first one doing it. So introducing the event, excuse me, and my 2 creative friends, Michele from The Vintage Daisy and Cheryl from Mama P's Crafty Creations. The 3 of us swapped mystery mail. So Michele sent me some mystery mail. I sent some to Cheryl. And Cheryl sent some to Michele. So each one of us got a happy mail packet full of goodies, crafty goodies. I don't know what's in it. That's why it's a mystery. And I'm going to open it live with you and we are going to create artist trading cards with it. And then Michele, after I'm done at 12:45, Michele is going to go live on her page, The Vintage Daisy. So you'll want to hop on over to her page, The Vintage Daisy. And then after Michele at 1:30 will be Cheryl, Mama P's Crafty Creations. So Michele and Cheryl, if you are here, please drop in the comments your Facebook business page links so people can easily find you. Yes, I know it's so fun, Michele. Right? Oh, I'm so excited to open this. I've had it for like a week. It's like Christmas. It's so hard. And look she did do, I'm going to cover her address, but she did this beautiful stamping on the bag itself. And I would love to salvage the envelope. You know me, junk journaling. I'm going to see if I could salvage the envelope by taking this off eventually. And then maybe we could use the envelope for something else. Look at Michele. Look at the pretty envelope you gave me to do a project with. Anyway, let's get to the artist trading card part of it. So we're calling this a mini event. We were doing this event, the curators for the mystery subscription box. There are 4 of us, and it's me, it's Lisa from Lisa Boone Designs, it's Michele from Michele Bell's oh my gosh, Michele, I'm so sorry. Her free group is called Shell Bell's Creative Sanctuary, but her business page is called My Shell Bell's Creations. Okay, so Michele from My Shell Bell's Creations. I got my words all twisted up in my mouth. And then it's Simply Flamazing Art, Amanda. The 4 of us are the curators of the mystery subscription box for artist trading cards. And this week, the doors are open for that. But this week, speaking of this week, on Friday, the 4 of us will be going live inside that group, the private group for the club members, to open up our boxes, which I curated this box this month. We're going to open the boxes and then create with them. And then we will do a swap. We'll do a swap with the cards. Okay, so let's see what Michele sent me. First of all, if you ever order anything from The Vintage Daisy, you have to know, I'm going to get you close up to this because you're going to want to see this close up. She and Mama P's actually, she didn't just send you supplies. She sends you supplies all wrapped up with gorgeous ribbon. Michele, yours is not going to be this gorgeous. I'm sorry. When you open yours, it's pretty, but the stuff in it's very cool, but it's not quite as pretty as what you've sent me here. So look we have this gorgeous ribbon, dainty little vintage ribbon that we can use. So exciting. I get excited just with the ribbon. Okay, now she sent me a little card and she has a fabric and book page cluster on the front. Love it. It says, Grace, thanks for having me as a guest ATCer. Happy creating, Michelle. Michelle, thank you so much. I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you for saying yes to both you and Cheryl. Thank you for saying yes. I'm going to try not to rip. This is piano paper. Did you guys ever hear of piano paper or see it? In fact, Lisa from Lisa Boone Designs, when she curated the box for the mystery box subscription, she sent us all this paper, and I had heard of it, but I never had any of it in my stash. I guess this is how pianos used to run. I don't understand technically how this works, but each one of those little notches, this paper would run through the piano, and I don't know how the tune would play based on this, but that's what this is. It's vintage, of course, and it's crunchy and aged, and I love things like that. And I love reusing, me as a gem journal, I love to reuse things that would have otherwise gotten thrown out. All right, look at all the goodies on the inside. I think I see, this appears to be like a tissue paper that has been stamped, although it actually feels a lot like this, just thinner, and I love the color. And I was thinking at first when I opened it, Michelle, that it was a maybe a template, what are they called? The when you buy the clothing, what are they called? The templates. You just had some. You were working with them yesterday on your page. I can't think of the name of them. Oh my gosh, trouble with words today. It's for embroidery. This is for embroidery, so it's a template for embroidery. My word, that's intricate. It looks like it's stamped tissue paper. Ooh, it's so pretty. How can I get that on the challenge? How can I get that to be a showcase on a 2.5 by 3.5 inch card? I'm going to try because I absolutely love the design. Okay, what other goodies did she send me though? She sent me, looks like some ledger paper. Ooh, yes. And it even has like tobacco, 10 cents. Oh my gosh. 1 pound of salt, $1. Or is that $1.50 maybe? 1 gallon of oil, 30. Oh my gosh, I love Michelle. Both you and Cheryl have the best curated collection of vintage items. It's like it's a dream. It's a dream to work with you. It's a dream to watch you create with it. It's a dream to see what you have in your own stash that you share in some of your sales and stuff. So if you guys love vintage goods, please make sure you're following both of their pages because they do some sales on their page and they do some sales in their sites of the vintage goodies that they have. So we've got some, what's it called? Crack? Is that what it's called? We've got some trim here that's very, very pretty. This looks like maybe wallpaper, a piece of vintage wallpaper, and the gold is actually foiled. Michelle, you sent me some of the prettiest things to work with. How am I going to get these on a couple of cards? Now this, Chelmsford, Mass. Oh my gosh. It's from a service man, I imagine man, right? Is it a man? It's to Mr. and Mrs. C.H. Woodward in Chelmsford, Massachusetts from the Naval Hospital Branch. Oh my gosh. Postage was free in 1943. Michelle! Oh, I can't use this. Do you remember I told you on the phone? I sometimes get stuff like I'm such a sucker for like old vintage or antique stuff. And if it's old and vintage and antique, I can't use it. It's too precious. Dear mother and dad. Oh, I am fast becoming a gentleman of polish. That's what it says on the bottom. And it's a little navy dude polishing something there. Oh my word. I'm not going to read this all to you now, but it's Dear Mother and Dad in 1943 on May 5th. Lots of love from Chet. This is what I'm talking about. Girls, if you are not following Michelle at the Vintage Daisy and Cheryl at Mama P's Crafty Creations, you've got to, because they got some of the coolest stuff to share. And I'm honored that you sent me some of this stuff. Now, she has a little satchel here with some little goodies, because remember, we're doing little cards. So you need little pieces of ephemera and little decorative items like these cute little tags. Look what she sent. Oh, there's a bunch of them. They're just teeny tiny and they already have some string on them. So we've got a few little tags. This says thin, tight crystal for very thin watches. What? They're little watch parts. Oh my gosh, Michelle, you sent me some interesting and challenging things to use. Some tickets. Tickets are always good. Oh, and these are like 2 different colors. You don't see that very often. Usually it's just one color throughout. If I really like something, I'll make copies and save the original. Carmela, that is such a fantastic idea for things like this. Even for this, like I really love the design of it. I could totally make a copy of that, keep the PDF on my computer, and then print it out on more tissue paper. Perfect idea. I'm gonna put that idea up on the screen because I think that everybody should see that idea, Carmela. It's great. Leslie says I couldn't use those vintage letters either. I'm a sucker for letters and postcards. I am too. I'm such a sentimental fool. Is anybody else like that with these? And I don't know who these people are, and yet I'm still a sentimental fool. How is that possible? I think it's because I'm like have an empathetic heart. I think that's what that means, right? Those of us who have really big feeling for things like that, I think it means we have strong empathy. I'm a total sucker for that stuff. Sharita says, I have all my letters my dad wrote home to my grandmother from 1945 and letters my grandmother wrote from the early 1900s. Sharita, these things are such a treasure. Carol says she makes copies too, and she saves the originals. You girls are so smart. It's good to have a nice computer that can hold on to all that stuff and just have a really good folder system that makes sense in your head for saving those files. Anne says, woohoo, I got the correct time zone at last. I found you live. Success. And what time zone are you in? Are you in East time zone? Are you in Eastern? Because of course that's where Michelle is in New England. That's what she's in. It's the Eastern time zone. I know. And she says she's looking forward to the event. Her little comment says, I'm looking forward to the event. I got to get these out of here because they're so cute. They're like little die cuts, but I think she made these. Someone made them. They are, it seems like stamped on watercolor paper and then watercolored, it seems, or some kind of soft color medium. And then it looks like a gold marker used to give us some of the details on, and maybe a black fine tip marker. Is that what this is, Michelle? Do tell, they're so pretty. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love the colors. Okay, and do you see a recurring theme here with blues and greens and cream? Blues, greens, and cream are like the resounding feel I'm getting from all of this. Even this, that ink may just be blue. Michelle, you're brilliant. What is this now? Page 227 to 254. And it looks like something from the teeny tiniest little dictionary maybe ever. My hands are awful, you guys. I'm not a girl who gets a manicure, obviously. Usually my hands are down here. You can't see it so bad. But when I put my hands really close up, it's embarrassing. A housewife who has glue, I'm a creative and a housewife. So if I don't have my hands in cleaning solution or laundry or the dishwash to doing dishes, then I have my hands in glue and glitter. And so they take quite a beating. And no, I do not invest in getting my nails done, apparently. Okay, this looks like a little dictionary. A Gelton, to be worth, to be of value, hold good. Yep, it's a little tiny dictionary, and I have the letters F through G, it seems. Parts of G. My word, cute. Oh, and she did send me some playing cards. So you can see 2.5 by 3.5 inch actual playing cards. These are fantastic. So, that deck of cards that's been laying around because it's missing the one card and you don't want to throw them out because maybe it'll show up someday. Use those cards to make artist trading cards. You can see 2.5 by 3.5. That's the standard size, like a playing card. I sell the blank ones in my shop. But absolutely, you can just use like vintage cards. I had this one laying here too. I didn't realize. You can just use vintage cards. You can also just cut. If you have a ton of cardstock, for example, just cut strips of 2.5 by 3.5, and those can be the cards that you create with. All right, so I will use Michelle's cards because she sent them to me. And I do like the idea of using the face part of it, like the Jack, the 4, so that perhaps the playing card can peek through the design. And to me, that's like extra special when you can achieve that, because it's honoring the playing card for what it was and still using it for a piece of artwork. So now I have to decide, of all the goodies that she sent, what am I going to use? I absolutely want to use this. I'm not using the letter. I can't, not until I make a copy. Same thing I feel about this. I just can't do it. But we have ribbon, we have the piano paper. I'm going to move the piano paper out from under so that we have like a blank table to work on here. And I'm going to push things aside, and we are going to start creating on these. Now I may pull in, we have some really beautiful color going here. I may pull in some gesso, and I have some tan gesso. It would be really fun if I could use one of these. So this is just a ring that, you know, I can put my finger through it. It's a metal ring, but this, you can see it's a like a watch cover. It has the glass over it. So what if I put that like on top of one of the florals? It would be a good way of kind of making it a focal point. Okay, let me get my gesso. Instead of rolling, I'm going to walk over there, because I have actually two colored gessos that Michele, I think it was Michele Mabel, might have sent these to me. I can't remember. One of the Crafty chicks here. I have a beige and like a light green, and these are actual gesso. You can use paint, honestly, if you're going to put a color on your cards. You could use paint. I think I'm going to do a little bit of a background of the soft gessos, and then just to obscure a little bit, cover up some of the harsh colors of the jack. And I'll do this one just to make it match. And then we'll use bits. Now you can see I have this strip of, it looks like old wallpaper maybe. And it's only about, I don't know, 7 or 8 inches long and about 2.5 or 3 inches wide. It's all you need. You do not need a ton of supplies to do artist trading cards. You just don't. You just don't need a lot of stuff. It's the coolest, funnest thing to do, particularly if you have a small amount of space to create in. You could get away with having a small bin of craft supplies and collection of goodies that you come across, even if it's like ephemera, like junk stuff, like little piece of wallpaper, a little piece of, you know, ribbon or lace that came off of like a torn dress, or a gift that was given to you and you like it and you think, I'm going to save that to create with it. Stick it all in a bin, and you can live in a small amount of space, with a small amount of space for storage and working with artist trading cards, because they're just little projects. It's not like working on, 18 by 24 inch canvases that you want to paint on. You see what I'm saying? They're just little. Then I used to paint furniture. I used to love to paint furniture, and I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't carry it. I couldn't lift it. I couldn't store it. It just got to be too much. I couldn't tote it around. Like I would be like, oh, someone's having a yard sale. I'll go get that piece of furniture that they're selling. I would do that. Bring it home, unload it from the car, have somebody carry it in the house for me. Oh my. I've gotten to the stage where I like the little projects. Artist trading cards are just perfect for me. So easy, so simple. Take up very little space, and you need very little supply to cover them up. Hey, Tony, how are you? Hey, Jennifer. Donna's here, and she's saying, Mama P's Crafty Creations. Yes, she is one of the guests today for this event, this mini event. Her and Michele from the Vintage Daisy are both creating after me. So it's me. Then at 12:45, we have 45-minute sessions. 12:45 is Michele at the Vintage Daisy. So you're going to hop on over to her page. And then after that, go to Mama P's. And I'm so glad they're here in the comments, hanging out with us. Oh, Michele says, use them. I can send you more if you want. They feel too precious. Oh, they feel too precious. All right, I was going to put my finger, hence this is why my nails are always dry and brittle. I was going to put my finger right into the gesso, because that's usually how I do it. But I'll try to be a little more. Cautious, and let's use a little brush. All right, we're going to cover up the card a little bit. I'm just going to brush on. Sorry, Jack, you got to go. I'm going to leave the little J with the diamond sticking out, but I'm going to put a little gesso. You know what? It looks like I need to shake this up a little more. Ruth says, I used to have one of those little dictionaries when I was in school years ago. It's teeny tiny. It's so cute. I think I could do a really cute collage of some of the trim. Like I have crocheted trim. I have this ribbon here too. I have the rickrack, which is like, she did a perfect job of all the colors kind of matching and being coordinating. And then the soft watercolor florals. I've got the soft floral paper, the dictionary pages, the tags. I think I can do just like a mini collage here. It's gorgeous stuff. Cheryl, she said the vintage daisy, gorgeous stuff. Yeah, didn't she? I'm so lucky. I'm a lucky girl. She sent me some fantastic stuff. Oh gosh, I hope you guys like the stuff that you got in the mail just as much. So we, like I said, we traded names. Each one of us got a name and we sent each other. So I sent to Michele. No, I sent to Cheryl. Didn't I, Cheryl? I sent to you. Cheryl sent to Michele. Michele sent to me. So we each have a little bit of goodies to open. Okay, one thing about working with playing cards. The cards that I sell in my shop are matte. So the finish on the paper is matte. Playing cards often have like a waxy coat or a plastic coating on them to keep them solid, right? Like you're going to be handling them a lot, shuffling them, dealing them out, bending them in your hand. Well, my kids are notorious for holding their cards and bending them. So they usually have like a wax coating over them to protect the card, the paper card itself. So just if you want to paint on them, if you want to use paints or colors, watercolors or anything, you might need to put a layer of gesso on first so that it covers up that shiny coat, the shiny plastic coat, and then you can put a watercolor on it or some kind of like marker or something. Okay, actually, I kind of liked when his face was kind of peeking through there. His eyes, the Jack's eyes were kind of peeking through. I'm gonna do something weird and just wipe back a little bit of that. So his eyes are peeking through. I don't know if that's gonna show in the end because we're gonna end up covering up a lot of this, but I want the base of the card to be this really pretty chalky green because it matches with, it just happens to match with the stuff that Michele sent me. So see what I'm doing? I'm leaving the 4. I want the numbers to still show so it still shows as a playing card, but I'm kind of stippling on some of the soft green. And I'm not painting it on at a brush stroke. So you notice you got the soft green, but you can still literally see the 4 spades underneath it. Okay, so it's adding the soft green color without totally hiding what's underneath. Stippling, just pouncing back and like up and down a whole lot of times. That's what I mean by stippling. And I don't even need a whole lot of product. You see how little bit? It's just dipping that brush tip, the brush tips in a little bit, and then spreading that throughout the card. And I don't even need to go for more product. It's just, there it is. It's all covered up. This was the one I hadn't shaken the bottle enough, so I'm going to just put a little bit more on this one because it was kind of scant. If that's the right word. I don't know. Let's dry them, and then we're going to collage some things on top of them. So if you're here for the first time, oh my gosh, look at how many people are here. So excited that you're here for the event. If you're here for the first time, can you shout out in the comments whoever told you to come over and hang out with us and watch? Whether it was one of the guests today, the Vintage Daisy or Mama Peace Crafty Creations. Those are 2 potential creatives who could have invited you here. Or it could be one of the curators of the subscription box. Lisa Boone Designs, Michele Bell's Creations, or simply Flamazing Art. So which of any of those told you to come on over and check out the event today? And thank you for being here. Hey, Julie, I see you. I just got on, Kimberly said. Hello, hello, welcome. This is not my box. No, this is the mystery box event. This is Michele, Cheryl, and I traded mystery supplies, and we're opening and creating with them. Let's see. I love that you guys are chatting so much in the comments. It's just so fun to read all the comments. Jennifer says, I love taking my junk journal stuff with me versus taking all my wood projects. Yeah, paper projects, not having wood surfaces. So having paper to create on, whether it's an art journal. How easy is it to stick an art journal in a backpack if you're going on a trip, say for the holidays, and you want to be able to create while you're on holiday? Bring your junk journal with you, or your art journal with you, and a little zip back bag. I usually bring like colored pencils, like watercolor pencils, and a watercolor brush. And maybe I sometimes usually bring like a gel pen so I can do detail work or journaling or writing on the project. But yeah, you don't need a whole lot of stuff. You just don't. Okay, we have a lot of fun things to collage here. So we're going to start, I guess, each page. Let's give each page a little dictionary page. They're like just so teeny tiny. Look at, perfect. Miss Michele, you're like superstar box maker for ATC cards, because look at the size and scale needs to be little. And Michele, you got it right, girl. You got it right. It is so challenging to do this, but she's gotten it right. All right, I'm getting beautiful gesso all over my table, which I don't need to do. I'm going to put my brush aside so that wet brush isn't getting all over the place. Oh, see, I got a little bit on my, actually, that was a happy accident. I got a little bit on my dictionary page. You guys, G for Grace. I'm not going to cover up the G, but I am going to just stipple a little bit of this. So it's going to end up making this, even though I'm collaging it, I'm going to put it on top. I'm going to glue it down on top. It's going to look a little bit more part of the background because it has now the gesso on it. So let's do that to each of these. I'm not covering up the whole dictionary page. You see? You can still see the dictionary page clearly. I'm just going to put some of this gesso on top of it to make it blend more. Okay, now this, right? The colors are working out really well together. It's a little bent, but it's okay. I'm going to tear this in random shapes and we're going to glue down. We're making a collage of papers and things and trying to find an interesting way to collage them down. And then I'll use the florals as my focal point. So we're going to use, so I have these florals, but I'm going to save that and stick with using this part of this paper, the wallpaper, and I'm going to put one off to the left, one down on the bottom, and one up to the right. So it's going to look like a little set, a matching set. You see how I did that? Should I get you down a little closer? I'm going to keep this close by because maybe we'll end up putting a little more of that on something else here. Okay, so we have that. Let's grab also maybe a chunk of this for each card. I don't know how much, but we have plenty to play with here. And I think I'm going to put this down below the paper to add almost like a little underneath the dictionary page. So I don't glue anything down until I feel like, yes, that's the way I like it. I'm just too non-committal. I'm not ready to commit. So let's drape this here. This is going to go here, and I think this can go kind of in the middle. And then, like I said, these are going to end up being our focal points. We're going to put those even on top of that. But the challenge, I'm taking the challenge seriously, and I'm trying to use what Michele sent me. Instead of, I'm trying not to grab other supplies other than my glue that I have on hand. Okay, I'm looking at the positioning of the papers versus the crochet. Maybe we'll put this one going this way, just so they're each a little different, but they're going to be matching and coordinated, if that makes any sense. I don't want to cover up my jack, but I was going to put this way, wasn't I? Yes. So, and I want that scalloped edging to show. So let's cover up the straight one, the straight part of the crochet with the paper, and leave the scallop edge hanging out so we can see it. I should do the same thing here with this one. My mind's eye, I wanted to line up the straight edge with the straight edge of the card, but I think actually it's more interesting if I flip this over and have that scalloped edge hanging out and cover up the straight edge. I think it's actually more interesting. I like when things kind of, it's like just like my junk journal pages. I like when they're gnarly and things hang off the edges and you've got like rogue pieces of thread hanging out or lace hanging out, and it doesn't all. I think I spent so much of my life being OCD and perfectionist and having everything line up perfectly that now that I'm using my creative life to like I call myself a recovering perfectionist. To get over that, I do think differently about this stuff now. I don't want things to line up perfectly. I want them to look old, decrepit, grunged up, not perfect. Oh, Anne says that Mama P told me to be here. Well, yay! Thank you for coming and joining us. Aw, thanks, Jeannie, for saying so. I love that you're here hanging out with us. Missy says, I'm taking ATC cards, bits and bobs, glue with me so that I can create at Thanksgiving place cards while I'm in Colorado next week. It will be a surprise for all the family. Missy, isn't that the best? First of all, good for you, packing up your craft supplies so that you can create while you're on holiday, when you're on your break or, for your trip for Colorado. So good for you for that, number one. You're making time. You've decided that this is a priority and you're going to make time for it. Just like you make, you say it's a priority to brush my teeth, so I'm not going to forget my toothbrush, right? Like, you're going to make it a priority. So that's what she's doing. So good for you. And what a great idea. Amanda and I were live. Amanda, was that yesterday or was that the day before? Doing ATC cards together. Again, because we're trying to remind everybody that the doors are now open. They're not open all the time, but the doors are open now. If you want to join for the December mystery box, the subscription box, you could join now to get the December box. Anyway, we were live the other day and she's doing the same thing. She's making ATC cards for place cards for their Thanksgiving supper. And then everybody can walk away with their ATC card that she made especially for them, as her family. Okay, I think that I'm ready. I am going to add a piece of this gorgeous lace to the side of each one of these. So I'm going to cut off a chunk for each one. I'm not going to put them in place yet. I think I'm ready to start gluing things down. So I think I'm going to use my glue stick. It's easy. It'll hold things. If you have heavier things like the lace, I'm going to do one at a time, and I'm peeling them off but gluing them down right away so I don't forget my placement. If you have thicker things that you're afraid aren't going to stay down, of course, use a thicker, heftier glue. But I have good luck with my glue sticks, so I'm just going to use my glue stick. And we're going to glue down the papers. We're going to start collaging these, kind of like making a cluster of pretties from all the things that she sent me. So we'll have a little bit of crochet peeking out, a little bit of the old-fashioned wallpaper, the dictionary page, and then on top of all of this, we're going to put the florals as the focal point. And there's no right or wrong. You'll get a style. You'll start to get a feel for like the way you like things to lay on a project, and you'll start to get a feel for it. And there's no, I can give you tips and tricks about scale and about colors and putting things together, but honestly, the best way to learn that stuff is to just start doing it and do it regularly. Whether you're working with papers, fabrics, napkins, rice paper, bits of ephemera like the old-fashioned wallpaper. Oh my gosh, I forgot to use this, you guys. I'm looking at it and thinking, why didn't I put that down? Stinkers. It's okay. It's okay. I'm really loving the vibe here and the colors. Hey, Jeannie, how are you? Who else is here? Please make sure that you say hello in the comments. Let us know how you found the event today. It's a mini event. And again, if you're just coming on, I'll tell you, you want to go, when I'm done, you're going to head on over, you're going to hop on over to the Vintage Daisy, and Michele is going to open the package I sent to her of mystery items and create with them. And then after Michele will be on from 12:45 until 1:30. Yes, and then head on over to Mama P's Crafty Creations, hop on over to her page. And while you're hanging out with them, don't forget to hit the follow button and like their content to help them out. They're sharing with you. And by you hitting that little like button and the follow button, you're sharing your love back with them and helping to support the businesses. So thank you for doing that for all of us. All right, let's see. This is very sheer, and it's like almost totally wet with glue when I've and now it even went through my fingers, the glue. Okay, I kind of want this to be more prominent. I may put it up here again with it's so sheer that the jack doesn't even get covered. You can still see the jack right through that sheer piece of trim. But I have the really pretty part hanging off the edge, which I like. So far, so good. Aw, thanks, Christina. She says she loves all three of us, Cheryl and Michele. She's loving on us. We're loving back on you, Miss Christina. Thanks for being here, hanging out with us. Now, how many of you make ATC cards or have made them before? Because I have a question for you with your ATC cards. Because there's two sides to this card, and I'm decorating one side, right? So the question would be, do you decorate both sides of your cards, or do you use the info sheets on the back of your cards? I think traditionally, most people who create with ATC cards, create ATC cards. I want this underneath, so I'm going to peel this up while the glue's still wet and put some glue on the paper so I can get the crochet on top of the paper, because I want the crochet to show more. And then the book page, I'm going to try to position it. Let's try to position it a little bit differently. I'm going to put it lower right. Try not to cover up the 4, but it may happen. We're going to go low right. Oh my gosh, my fingers are sticky. So on the back, we have this, which is decorative in itself. But, you know, in the artist trading card and the subscription box, when you get your subscription box, you'll get these with your cards. And they're little info sheets that you can title the card. You can say who you are, who the artist was that created the card, the date that you made the card, and any notes. Like these 3, I'll put created live in mystery mini event, you know, and it'll have the date. That way, when you trade cards, all of your cards have a notation on the back saying where it came from. So you don't have to try to rely on your memory. It will say for you, like where it came from. Okay, we got that so far. This is what we got so far. I love the combination of color and the trim. So now we have all these gorgeous things that we can start placing on here as focal points. So let me just lay them out and pick first of all. We have a few leaves. And we have, let's see, I don't think I'm going to end up using the tags necessarily. I wouldn't mind using the little eyeglass pieces, or the watch pieces, I mean. Oh my gosh, I really love this one. It's pink and gold. All right, how many flowers can I fit? If I did a pink one and this like green colored one together, I always think in 3s. So I don't know that I will have enough of these. I can do, the leaves can count as, you know, 1, 2, 3. The leaf could be number 2. I have it kind of poking out. This one's the biggest leaf, so I'm going to put it with the biggest floral. Positioning, there's no right or wrong really. Oh, my fingers are so sticky, and so are the cards still, so things keep like coming off. See how it's sticking to me? Good gravy, Grace. No, I don't know about that. Okay, it's okay. We got to get figuring this out. I have this as well. I have one more left. And what if I did these 2 together? Maybe I'll put this one overlapping the biggest one, and then the leaf here. Like a little cluster of florals, and then I have this one left. So over here, maybe what I'll do is put this more toward the middle and get a couple of leaves hanging down low so that this floral's up high, like that. Maybe. I like it so far. I may just move this over a little bit more, like that. So see, I haven't glued anything down yet because I'm not entirely sure on it yet. I still have this little gold ring. It would be so fun. I may just stick that on top of one of these, but let's get the florals down. For the florals, I think I'm going to use a liquid glue instead of, because I have lots of layers now, right? I have the paper, I have the crochet, I have the ribbon, I have the dictionary page. So there's some bulk underneath there. So I want to make sure that these things aren't going to budge, really. And So this is gonna, the liquid glue, I feel like it's gonna like meld into the fabrics and the ribbon and the paper better than just the glue stick. The glue stick, when I put it on the flat card, I feel like that makes more sense on a flat card. But the liquid glue, so that it can move inside the crevices of all that texture, if that makes any sense. Tamara says, you saw the ones that I sent to Deb? Who, are you talking to me or are you talking to somebody else? Tamara. Hey, Katana, how are you, friend? All right, how did I have this? Like this? I like the idea of it hanging off the edge a little bit. I don't always need mine to stay within the square of the 2.5 by 3.5. If it flops over the edge, it makes me happy. Things flopping over the edge, kind of like my jeans. Things flop over the edge where maybe they shouldn't be. That doesn't make me happy, but what can we do? What can we do when we're middle-aged? We do what we can with what we got. Okay, there's number 1. And I put the glue mainly on the centers of the 2 flowers so that the edges are kind of still stuck up. So there's a little dimension. Same thing with this. This is kind of curled up over the edge, and I like that a lot. Like that just makes my heart happy. This is already stuck down because there's so much glue on the card. That's funny. We're going to stick this here so we can still see the 4, which I like. And then we're going to put this close to it. And then I may add, if I can find a way, do I want this under or over? I think I'm going to go over a little bit. If I can find a way to get that gold ring to glue down, how would you guys glue this down? I mean, it's so, so thin. It would be really cute sitting on top here. But how would I glue that down, girls? Shout it out in the comments. Give me some ideas. Okay, I need to get these 2 little leaves to stay down. And I try not to move the positioning too much while I'm gluing everything down so I don't lose my original idea of how I wanted it. Oh my gosh, these florals are so beautiful, Michelle. E6000, Lisa says use E6000 on the little metal thing. I still have, you guys, I still have so much. And this is what happens too when you're a member of the subscription box. You're going to get a package of, and it's usually an envelope, but this month they're getting a box because there was something big enough that I needed a box to send it to them. You're going to get a package full of goodies, and you're still going to have so much left over that you can create more ATC cards with, or use it in your junk journaling or your art journaling. And it's really, really fun to get a box or a package of mystery supplies to create with together as a group, and then to trade cards. And then it just gives you supplies that you wouldn't normally find. Like I have never seen this stuff, the piano paper. So to get it in the box is like a real thrill. Stick fast would work. A liquid glue, Maureen says. B7000. What the heck is B7000, Janet? Let's see if I could just use a silicone glue. Because it will dry, like it's going to dry invisible, right? Where is that little gold thing? The thing is, it's going to be nearly impossible to get glue to stick to the edge of this. I'm going to try though. And we'll just see if it sets up properly. It's so thin. I don't know if this glue is going to take. Ugh, I just got this glue and it stinks, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. It has a smell to it. If you're sensitive to like chemically smells, you might not like that glue. I think it's stronger than Fabrifix. No, I know. I've been using Fabrifix for a long time, and I do believe it's much stronger than that. Okay, so I did add that little gold ring to that. And you can see the gold around the florals. She used a metallic gold marker probably. So I'll show you my 3 cards. And what I'm going to tell you, I'm going to drop in the comments for you guys. Just give me a second here. And I'm going to grab the Vintage Daisies link, and I'm going to drop it into the comments. So just stay where you are so you don't have to lose track of where you're going. And I want you to go over to the Vintage Daisies Facebook page, because she's live next. She's up now. at 12:45, and then right after that will be Mama Peace. But I'll be at the Vintage Daisy with you, hanging out in the comments, and toward the end of Michelle's live, I'll give you Mama Peace link so you can run over and hang out with her too when she's ready to go, and you'll get to see what everybody got in their packages and then how they're going to create with them. So there you go. There's the Vintage Daisies link, and that looks like there's a misspelling. No, she has it right. The Vintage Daisies. She just abbreviated it. So head on over to the Vintage Daisy to hang out with Michelle. Thank you for being here with me, you guys. Hit the follow and like buttons on our pages. It helps us so very much. I will post a photo of these and probably a little video later showcasing them once they're all nice and dry and ready to go. I'll see you guys soon over on the Vintage Daisy. Bye.